Welcome to the lesson on salts. At the end of this lesson, we will learn about different types of salts, properties of salts, classification of salts, sodium chloride or common salt, sodium carbonate or washing soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda, calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder, sodium hydroxide, and plaster of Paris. When an acid reacts with a base, salt is formed. Hence, salt is a compound formed by the reaction between an acid and a base. This reaction is called a neutralization reaction. For example, when an acid like hydrochloric acid reacts with a base like sodium hydroxide, sodium chloride NaCl is formed. Salt like sodium chloride is edible. Other salts like magnesium chloride, potassium nitrate, zinc carbonate and copper sulfate are useful to use in many ways. Any salt formed will have a cation and an anion. In sodium chloride, Na is a cation and OH is an anion. Salts usually get names from the acids which take part in the reaction. For example, potassium hydroxide, when reacts with hydrochloric acid, produces potassium chloride. Similarly, salts from a hydroxide mixed with sulphuric acid are called sulfates. For example, magnesium hydroxide reacts with sulphuric acid to form magnesium sulfate. Salts formed with hydroxide and nitric acids are called nitrates. For example, sodium hydroxide reacts with nitric acid to form sodium nitrate. Similarly, salts formed with hydroxide and carbonic acids are called carbonates. For example, sodium hydroxide reacts with carbonic acid to form sodium carbonate. Depending on the pH value, salts are categorized into neutral, acidic and basic salts. Neutral salts have pH value of 7, while acidic salts have pH less than 7 and basic salts have pH greater than 7. Salts formed from strong acids are called neutral salts. Sodium chloride is formed by strong acid hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Potassium sulfate is formed by strong acid sulphuric acid and strong base potassium hydroxide. Salts formed from strong acids and weak bases are called acidic salts. Acidic salt ammonium chloride is formed by strong acid hydrochloric acid and a weak base ammonium hydroxide. Acidic salt magnesium nitrate is formed by strong acid nitric acid and a weak base magnesium hydroxide. Salts formed from weak acids and strong bases are called basic salts. Basic salt sodium carbonate is formed by weak acid carbonic acid and strong base sodium hydroxide. Basic salt potassium acetate is formed by weak acid acetic acid and strong base potassium hydroxide. Common salt is formed by the combination of hydrochloric acid and sodium hydroxide. Its chemical name is sodium chloride. Sodium chloride is prepared from salts in seawater. Sodium chloride is used as preservatives to preserve fish, meat and pickles, used for manufacturing of soap, used as raw material for sodium hydroxide, baking soda, washing soda, bleaching powder, etc. When concentrated solution of sodium chloride reacts with ammonia and carbon dioxide, then sodium hydrogen carbonate is formed. It is also called baking soda. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used in the kitchen for baking breads and cakes. Baking powder is a mixture of baking soda, that is, sodium hydrogen carbonate, and a mild edible acid such as tartaric acid. When baking powder is heated or mixed in water, sodium carbonate is formed. Carbon dioxide produced during the reaction causes bread or cake to rise, making them soft and spongy. Sodium hydrogen carbonate is used for baking cake and bread. Being alkaline, it neutralizes excess acid in the stomach and provides relief. Hence, it is used as antacid. It is also used in soda acid fire extinguishers. Sodium carbonate or washing soda is obtained by heating sodium hydrogen carbonate. The anhydrous sodium carbonate is dissolved in water and is recrystallized to form sodium carbonate dihydrate. It is also a basic salt. Sodium carbonate is used for the manufacturing of detergents, soap, glass and paper. It is also used to remove permanent hardness of water. It is also used in the manufacturing of sodium compounds such as borax. Calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder is produced by the action of chlorine on dry slaked lime or calcium hydroxide. Bleaching powder is used for bleaching cotton and fabrics, used for bleaching pulp in paper industry, used as disinfectant in drinking water, used in laundry for bleaching washed clothes. When electricity is passed through an aqueous solution of sodium chloride, which is called brine solution, it decomposes to form sodium hydroxide. The process is called the chlor-alkali process because of the products formed chlorine and sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide is used to manufacture soaps and detergents. Is used to manufacture paper, rayon and dyes. Is used to manufacture cleanness, used for clearing drain clogs. Salt crystals are not dry but contain droplets of water. Water of crystallization is the fixed number of water molecules present in one formula unit of a salt. Copper sulfate crystals, which seem to be dry, contain water of crystallization. When we heat the crystals, this water is removed and the salt turns white. If the crystals are again moistened with water, blue color of the crystal reappears. 5 water molecules are present in one formula unit of copper sulfate. Chemical formula for hydrated copper sulfate is CuSO4 5H2O. 10 water molecules are present in one formula unit or sodium carbonate. Chemical formula for hydrated sodium carbonate is Na2CO3 10H2O. Gypsum or calcium sulfate has 2 water molecules as water of crystallization. It has the formula CaSO4 2H2O. On heating gypsum at 373 Kelvin, it loses water molecules and becomes calcium sulfate hemihydrates. This is called plaster of Paris. Plaster of Paris is used for setting fractured bones, used for making toys, casts for statues, decorative materials, jewelry and cosmetics, used for smoothing wall surfaces, used in laboratory for making apparatus airtight, used for making fireproof material. At the end of this lesson, we learnt about different types of salts, properties of salts, classification of salts, sodium chloride or common salt, sodium carbonate or washing soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate or baking soda, calcium oxychloride or bleaching powder, sodium hydroxide, and plaster of Paris.
visit Atech Academy on www.atechedu.com or contact on 90411527777.